welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Alyssa and today I have a collab video. So I'm going to be using my crystallized palette and making a look with 6 eyeshadows, half of them picked by myself and half of them picked by the person I'm collabing with. And we're gonna see what look I come up with and compare it to her look, and not in like a competition type of way, just sort of a, you know, fun to see how you can take the same eyeshadows and make very different looks. So, or maybe we'll make the same look and maybe we'll be like makeup twins, and that could be fun too. But if you want to know who I'm collabing with, if you haven't already seen with like the title or any of that stuff, and you want to see the look, then please keep watching. I'm not going to keep you in suspense any longer. The person I'm collabing with is Manuela, and I will link both the YouTube and Instagram pages so that you can see all of her fabulous looks. And it's fun because I actually found her through another person I collabed with, which is Jan, who is also here, and so I will try to link her channel as well because I want everyone to be able to watch all the people I enjoy watching as well. So let me go ahead and get into like the eyeshadows and then we can do more chatting. But we're calling this Tic-Tac-Toe. Manuela actually came up with the idea, so I'm gonna give her all the credit. But it was just kind of funny because she sent me the 3 shades that she was picking and she did X's on them. And I was marking the 3 shades that I was picking, and I did O's. Well, I was circling the shades, but they look like O's, obviously, and then you have like a tic-tac-toe type of vibe. So I thought that was fun. And so yeah, let me go ahead and show. I'm gonna have it up on the screen as I am swatching on my, which arm do I wanna swatch on? I think I'll just swatch on this one. So we'll go ahead and do her picks first, because that was, I saw her picks and then that was kind of what led me to pick the ones that I'm using. Oh, that one, okay. All right, so these were her 3, which they do go together really nicely. And so when I was seeing, I feel like I should have done it on this side. You know, I am going to, I'm gonna swap. It's the hair side of my arm, but you know what? We're all people here and we know that we have hair, and that's fine. All right, so this was the color story then that, you know, I was kind of starting with from her. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't do too many shimmers. It's really easy because there's so many pretty ones, but I wanted to be able to have them kind of stand out. And I feel like sometimes some of the shimmers are similar to each other, so that could cause some, I don't know, just not being able to appreciate them the way I would want to. I also wanted to make sure that I was picking shades that, you know, like, I mean, obviously the cream eyeshadow I could use in every look and things like that, like the more pale ones. But I wanted it to just be more of a universal type of color story, I guess. So I avoided the super light colors. And so I guess what I thought of next was something fun and represents me is the bright pink. And then I think was then the dark matte was then what I was thinking of. So that's the darkest shade. So I was like, okay. And then I wanted to use the iridescent because I feel like, although it's hard to get to like show up on me right now, but depending on different ways that you layer it, you know, it can work as inner corner. It could just be to change up a color, just, you know, something that's a little bit fun. So I feel like hers is almost a little bit more, I hate to say warm tone because this isn't really like warm toned, but with that shimmer, it makes things that way. And then here, like I'm a little bit more cool toned. So yeah, these are the 6 eyeshadows. And I have an idea about what I want to do with them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. All right, so first I'm gonna start with my primer because I didn't do any makeup. I had my long meeting today that I have each month, and I did like, sometimes I do a workout first, sometimes I don't. Sometimes my workout is just like the walk kind of there and back, but I knew it was gonna be raining and so I wouldn't be walking today. So I did actually do like a regular workout and I did a shower, but I'm like, I won't do any makeup or anything. I would wait and hopefully have time to film a video was my thought. And so sure enough, that is what we are doing. So I think I'm gonna go ahead. What was my plan? Oh, that's right. Okay. Let's see. All right, I'm going in with the pink first. Now there was actually a look that I saw someone do online, and I thought with the crystallized palette, and I thought about, because some of the shades, or a lot of them, were very similar to the ones, or not similar, but I think they might have been the ones that we're using, but I decided to not. I'm going to stick with my original plan of what I'm doing for my look, and we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, so Manuela actually reached out and asked if I wanted to do a collab, since we both had the crystallized palette, and I thought that that was, you know, sure, like pretty much. I don't think I've turned anyone down for a collab. I mean, the main reason that I would probably do, like, say no to someone is just like if I was like really busy and I'm like, I just don't have the time and I don't want you to be waiting around, or maybe you're wanting to do something that I don't enjoy. I don't know. I'm like, I honestly, like, I think, you know, if people were to ask me, my answer is going to be yes, which is great, because I actually have a bunch of collabs that are kind of like happening and going on around like when I'm filming this, which just makes me happy. I love being able to meet people this way who have a similar passion and interest, and, you know, like with something like this where it's like, oh, like we each get to pick some colors and just see what happens. And I can't wait to see her look, because she always makes these really cool, like they always look dramatic. I feel like even if she goes more subtle with the shades, like they're light colors, there's just something about like the shape of it or the way she uses the placement, like just different things that it always looks so cool. And yeah, I like that a lot. You know what? I was filming without the lights on. I'm gonna put them on. I keep the other light on that I was just having the one, but it was raining, and then during my meeting it was sunny, and I'm like, ooh, and then of course it was rainy, or at least cloudy by the time I left. I don't think it's true. Oh no, I think it is raining now. It's hard to tell sometimes. All right, I like the pink. Now I'm gonna go in with that like teal shade here. All right, let's get this on the brush. And then I'm trying to remember how I wanted to use, I think the main thing I was thinking was like with the one shimmer and these two, and I hadn't really thought all the way about all the colors, so that'll be interesting, but we'll figure it out. I mean, I really don't think you can make a bad look. I mean, you probably could if you tried, but in general, if you had any trying at all with this palette, I think the looks will turn out pretty. But that's also just how I feel about these colors. I enjoy all of these colors, and, you know, not everyone might do that, but then you probably wouldn't buy the palette, or I would hope you wouldn't. They're actually, like, the pink and the teal are actually blending kind of in a fun way. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I would have to keep them pretty separate, but they are wanting to make a new color of like this like purpley color. So that's fun. But I'm gonna be kind of covering that up with shimmer. So speaking of the shimmer, I think I'm gonna go in with that. Maybe the lower lash line is where I will use the other matte. Let me just go ahead and do that now while I'm at it, so I can see what I feel about that. All right, so this is the other matte eyeshadow that Manuela picked. So, but yeah, if you have not already subscribed to her, then I would suggest you do so. But even though I don't have, you know, a lot of the same palettes, or even sometimes like the same exact, because it's like sometimes it's an inspiration type thing, but sometimes it's just nice to see someone applying makeup in just a pretty way, like in something like that's interesting and fun. And, you know, I don't feel like, yeah, that you have to then go out and recreate all the same looks. Okay, for this shimmer, all right, I can use this brush. I feel like sometimes when I'm filming, I clean my brushes regularly, but it sort of feels like, oh, okay, now I should actually be, well, I don't know. I've been trying to not actually have myself clean them as often, because then I feel like I'm just using the same brushes over and over. Whereas if I wait a little bit, it encourages me to branch out and use some other brushes. And, you know, that's a good thing, because I better not consider buying more brushes if I'm not using the ones I have. And I really can't fit more. Wow, okay. That just picked up so much. If you can see, that was like, whew, okay. I don't know if I needed all that, but there we go. So I really liked how this looked over the pink. I think I can insert a photo when I was swatching it out, to kind of test out how it would look. Because, I mean, I had thoughts on how it could be, but it does look almost, it's still very orange on top of the pink, but it just, there's something else with it. And because of the base, it shifts into like this teal color. So I figured by having the pink on this side, and then when I turn my head, it goes into the teal, which is next to it, that would be a good combo. And so far I am liking this. So my eyes have been bothering me a lot because our weather had changed. It was so sunny and beautiful. And then now that we're going back to the cloudiness, I don't know if it's gonna make my eyes bad again today because it's like the shift back, but we'll see. All right, so I've used 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so the darkest shade, I'm probably gonna do a liner, or I might use it to, I could use it to deepen up. I feel like I'm gonna start with it as a liner. So yeah, this look is going on so well. I have another collab video that I'm going to hopefully film tomorrow. It kind of like went funny. All right, oh, we're good. It didn't, I thought it was gonna make like some big mess, but we're okay. But yeah, I have another collab that I'm filming probably tomorrow. But I was figuring that this one, because the shades were already picked out ahead of time, then I could kind of plan out the look, and it's all in one palette, and it just makes it a little bit more kind of straightforward, that it would be sort of a quicker, easier, like, you know, not requiring a lot of brain power. I was kind of leaving up a little bit to like how I felt when I got home, for like if I really want to do the other one instead, then, you know, I could do that. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is what I was going to be in the mood for, where it's like, all right, I already know what shadows I'm using because I am hungry as well. And so there's that. But yeah, like, and I am very happy to have these shades on. I have actually used now this palette. Every eyeshadow has been used over 5 times each, which is always a goal I have for new eyeshadows brought in. And I still feel the same way from when I first got it, that this is, you know, a great palette for me. I like that some of it puts me a little bit out of my comfort zone. Okay, so I'm trying to deepen this up here, and all it's doing is making like a really pretty like dark shimmer type of color instead, which is funny. I don't know if I got like, I'm not sure why. I have a little bit of fallout, so I can take care of that. But yeah, the mattes are like, they do blend nicely. They go on well. Like they're not, I guess they're pigmented enough, but like I don't feel like I have to like be building endlessly. You know, and they stay where I want them, and they don't tend to have a lot of fallout. Like the fact that I was like kind of packing on this dark shade and it's not just all over my face, even when I like kind of jabbed my eye there, like that's impressive. Yeah, all right, so the iridescent I'm going to use on the lower like lash line here a bit, and then I think I might wrap it around here as well. And I am gonna wet my brush. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're getting like a more cool tone look on the bottom here. And like I said, it did come off like more warm tone up on the upper lid. But sometimes I kind of like that dichotomy of having the cool with the warm, where they're like near each other, but just kind of makes for an interesting look. So, and then I will come up as well. Although I feel like it might be too dark for me. Oh, I might not be a big fan of that. Okay. I might actually go in with the cream shadow that's in here, even though, or maybe the pale pink. I think I might use the pale pink just to help lighten this up for me. I know technically it's not part of the original shade, so like, okay, if you want to see the original shades, but just for me, you can see this is kind of dark and yeah, it's not the look I want. So let me I have yellow that's on this one brush, so let me get the yellow off. Because I also feel like if I'm washing my brushes, so like it's like I use it for one color and then I go and wash it, like that's kind of maybe doesn't help them hold up as well. All right, if I just kind of lighten this up, I think that is better. It's still purpley, you know, I'm using the pink. It still kind of has that from the iridescent underneath it. But yeah, I just need to make it a little bit better for my coloring. So that was better. All right. But what about if I put some up on the brow bone? Why not? Doesn't necessarily go the way I would normally do it, but just to have some fun. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my face. Okay, I am back. I've got my finished look, so finished off with the lip, did my brows. I chose not to do any mascara, anything like that. Did blush, powder, and that's it. So this is the look. I really love that shimmer. What is it called? Sunstone. It just really is special and like a standout in the palette as something like unique because it's warm and the others are much more cool tone shadows, but it sparkles, it shifts, it's got everything, I feel like. So, you know, like I said, I love this palette. I'm so happy to have it. I'm so happy to be able to play with these shades that Manuela and I picked out. I was so happy that she asked to do a collab. So I want to thank you so much for watching my video. If you came from Manuela's channel, then hello, welcome. Maybe you'll subscribe if you want to see more makeup looks. And I don't buy a lot of makeup, so most of my collection is on the older side. This palette is new, but this was a Christmas present, and otherwise I'm not, you know, going and buying stuff all the time. So if you want to see, you know, older makeup getting used and panned and things like that, then maybe you'll check out my channel. But also, if you're from my channel, please go check out Manuela's channel and her video and see the look that she's done. I know I'm going to be waiting for that to upload so that I can see it. And I think that's all I have. So until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye!